I'm going to start this video off this way. Why is it that every time I come here, somebody is mowing the lawn? I mean, I come here like once a week. This is Texas, and it's still summertime here, and the grass doesn't grow that much because it's, yeah. But there's always going to be somebody, and they always have to be right next to where I am. See? 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 It's just like, what is it? Are they obsessed with me or something? But they have all these other places they could be mowing, but it's going to be right there where I'm sitting. Coincidences. I believe in coincidences. Do you? Wondering what this... I got the hiccups. I'm still wondering what this building is going to be. I don't see a sign. Still don't see a sign. It used to be, was it either at home or Home Goods? One of those two. No store that I thought about going to one. I had to change lanes back. Yeah, that was too impulsive. So I don't need any more shopping videos. Oh my goodness, I have so many clips and videos that I think it's 11 that I have uploaded. Yes, and I have at least, say at least three more on my phone. Those are all snapshots on my camera. Yeah, I don't need any more. So, but mainly I've been doing those that are different stores for, you know, like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Halloween. Yeah. I got plenty of those. I don't know. I'm telling you about the Halloween stuff. It just seems like it's getting too gross. Seriously. I mean, there was one of them at the 99-cent store. Had so many of these, like, torn off, bloody arms, you know, plastic things. Looked like that. Oh, it was like, that's just too gross. And I thought about not taking a picture of them, but I did. And then it became one that made the YouTube's AI made the as the one of the pictures for the thumbnail. I was like, it's just so gross to me. Seriously. I've never been into the guts and gore kind of thing. And I think that's part of being, you know, some people call them empaths. I don't really like that term because some of, you know, it just covers too much, really. But it's people who have empathy and, you know, who are empathic or empathetic. They, you know, some of us just can't handle that kind of stuff. Anything that would even, you know, remotely resemble pain or anguish, you know, something, some negative thoughts, feelings, or whatever, you know, they just can't handle it like other people can. Some people, they really love that. But I don't think of them as much as people who are empaths, like I said. I could be wrong. Yeah, I could be wrong. Like I said, that's not something that, there's no research or anything that you can look up. You know, I was a career student, and, you know, kind of, there is something about highly sensitive people, but it's a different, totally different kind of, it is scientific, that has that, oh, what is it called now? Sensory, I can't remember. I wrote it down so I would remember. There's a lot of research on that, and on the book the woman wrote about, more than one book, I think, about being highly sensitive. So, and it's not just about your senses. And some people will tell you that a person who is what's called, you know, an empath is also highly sensitive, but people who are highly sensitive aren't always empaths. Got that? Yeah, we're taking an IQ test here. So which one? Highly sensitive person would probably be very annoyed about my blinker and about me driving while I'm vlogging. It's the same as if somebody's sitting next to me. The only difference is I'm not looking over at them. You know, when you're driving down the road, do you look at the person that you're talking to every once in a while? Not good. My camera is right in front of me, onto the right side, underneath the rear view mirror, and it's like a front view mirror. Yeah, staring at it. So I'm not looking over at somebody when I'm talking, because that's what people say. You know, and I want to really ask them. I want to ask them, do you not speak to anybody, not say a word, not get on your phone, not do anything while you're driving? Because people can be judgmental. We all know that. Very judgmental, extremely. But then they don't stop and think, wait a minute, I do something very similar to that, so I shouldn't say anything. Be something more that an empath would do, is they put themselves in other people's shoes. And they also think, wait a minute, how would I do this? Do I do this? And they would go from there, you see. But not all. I don't think it's a one-size-fits-all thing. And there's no one definition for either one of them. And like I said, there's not that much, there's nothing that I have found about empaths. It's scientific. I'm a scientist, but I have an open mind. I'm one that has an open mind, yeah. Not all do. Some are just scientists and that's it. Closed it off. That's just wrong. If you're a scientist, you should have your mind open to something new. You know, people are different. I was a career, some call it professional student for many years. I taught at college and university. So what would I know? You know how when people say, oh, well, she's doing this, pointing the finger. Yeah. Anyway, I'm having an allergy attack again. Oh, all of a sudden, out of the blue. It happens every time I go out. And yeah. Okay, and then that's something that, yeah, some people do connect to being an empath or a highly sensitive person, is that of having allergies. Now, there is actually something that some would have seen someone say, some say, and I even know that, about people who are highly sensitive and why they're on such, you know, yeah, there is something scientific, but not in a good way. Not in a way that I have seen people want to think of it. I try to actually look at it all in a good way, that, you know, people, and I also think about it this way. Maybe those of us who are empaths, you know, have actually have empathy for others, can put ourselves in their shoes. We're not just stuck on ourselves, on and on. Maybe we are what's considered normal. And it's the other people who are either, some would say, narcissistic or some kind of cluster B, self-centered, whatever, toxic, whatever. And other ones are just kind of, you know, their heads in the clouds. They're not really paying attention much to what's going on around them. And it's not that they're self-centered, it's just that they're just heads in the clouds. And so on. But that people who are, who can feel empathy, you know, are normal. I don't like to say normal. Healthy. But some would say no. People who can feel empathy, some seem to think that those are people who have been through a lot of abuse. A little or a lot. Yeah. And they've worked through it, so now they can feel for others. Okay, but right now, all I'm feeling is I am getting an allergy, having an allergy attack. And what is this? September 16th? Yeah, you would think. But here, it's year-round, seriously. North of Dallas, that South Fork Ranch is like 5 miles down the road here. And this area is like, something's always blooming, really. Although we've had quite a bit of a drought, it seems like, and everything seems to be dying. But people just can't keep up with it. But yeah. And anyway, what is that? TV sitting on the road. Somebody's trying to get rid of it. But yeah, hopefully it doesn't do like it did last year. Last year was very strange. I know it wasn't just us here in this area. I know it was all over, pretty much the United States. But we had, like September, like yesterday, our temperature was 100. Speaking of temperature, I was saying that our high temperature yesterday was 100. And right then my phone said that it overheated. It was, the camera was too hot. So yeah, speaking of. But yeah, you know, last year when it did something like this, I think it was the 28th of September, it was like that. The heat index, I think, was in the hundreds. And the very next day, the high was 48. And that's unusual for this part of Texas, this part of the country. And after that, we had like 6 months of winter. We don't have 6 months of winter here. I used to joke and say we have 2 seasons, summer and 1 day of winter. And that's about how it was. I mean, there was a little bit of an exaggeration, but just a little. We didn't go for months with that kind of cold weather. But like I said, I know that it was all over the country, but I wonder what it's going to do this year. Seriously. How is it going to be? Is it going to be better? Do people forget? Have you forgotten last year? Because it was 6 months plus. Seriously, that was odd. But it was so unusual, and we're not adjusted. We're Texans. We live in Texas. I'm Texan. He has lived here most of his life. So, yeah, we're just not used to that like that. And anyway, I think I'll wrap this up because I'm losing my voice. Talk to y'all later.